Okay, so it's the 31st of January. I'm Mike Cashman. I'm here with Peter Harbour from Oxford for Europe. And I had 2 tickets whereby we were going to get into the Radio 4 debate on Brexit in the BBC Theatre, which is opposite. They had told me on the way in that I couldn't take this placard in, which I'd had at Parliament earlier, and I had agreed to leave it on the street. The tickets were validated, we were allowed in. Security guard came to talk to me and said, if you were on a protest, I said, well, it wasn't a protest, it was counted as a vigil. But he said, you know, you're not going to protest during the programme, are you? And I said, no, I've been in the audience of any questions several times. I've been on the audience of question time. I've behaved perfectly well. And he seemed satisfied and went away. He came back and took us out of the building and said, sorry, because we know from the placard that you have been on a protest, therefore we are not going to allow you to be in the studio audience. It was perfectly polite, but obviously quite determined. We tried to reason with him. I pointed out that if I'd put the placard down around the corner, nobody would have known, but he said nonetheless we were not going to be allowed into the debate. I'm not allowed in, and neither is Peter, who wasn't carrying a placard at all.
Yeah.
That was more or less it, wasn't it, Peter? Anything to add?
Well, we talked to some people in the queue at the time because he didn't seem to want other people to hear, so I thought it would be a good idea for the people to hear. And when I told them that I had family scattered right across Europe, and I've got a niece who's an editor for El País, the national Spanish newspaper. I've got family in France and Spain, Sweden, and so on. And we had very, very good reasons to want to be in on this performance with the BBC this evening.
Well, I mean, who knows what form the programme would have taken. You know, it may very well be like any questions that the audience is there only to respond. But, you know, we were going to abide by the rules of whatever was there. But anyway, we have been excluded for having an opinion.
We'd already greeted Alistair Campbell.
Yes,
and,
indeed.
He seemed friendly enough.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So that's Mike Cashman, Peter Harbour, signing off because we can't get in. Good night.